All right, so the Browns have hired a new defensive coordinator. It's going to be Jim Schwartz. Earlier candidates, Jared Mayo and Brian Flores, seemed kind of preoccupied with other things. Jared Mayo looking like he's going to be extending his time with the Patriots, and Brian Flores entertaining a head coaching offer from Arizona, along with other defensive coordinator offers. And Sean Desai from the Seahawks always seemed kind of like an unlikely candidate anyway. So a little bit more about Jim Schwartz. He's been involved in the NFL for about 30 years now, starting as a scout for the Cleveland Browns all the way back in 93, was the Titans defensive coordinator from '01 to '08, the Lions head coach from '09 to 2013, the Bills defensive coordinator for a year in 2014, and the Eagles defensive coordinator from 2016 to 2020. During that span of time, they won a Super Bowl, and he was most recently a senior defensive assistant for the Titans. So he's a veteran guy who's been around the league for a long time, which is something that you could say that the Browns coaching staff has needed for a little bit now. His defensive system seems to be based around the wide 9 defensive line positioning, which seems like it's designed specifically for Myles Garrett and his pass rushing abilities. He can just line up way on the outside and try to get as clean of a look at the quarterback as possible before the ball is snapped, which I think is awesome. That's going to be really good. But one of the system that, a little bit of a weakness to it that way isn't so awesome is that it kind of leaves the interior defensive line exposed to rushing attacks, which is something that the Browns struggled with all of last season, even supposedly not in a system that was designed to have that as a weakness. But we couldn't really tell with how the Browns played run defense last season. But it seems like the Browns are going to have to actually address their weakness at the interior defensive line, get some proven defensive tackles in order to make the system run well. And that's something that they're probably going to have to attack in free agency because they don't really have any premium draft capital in the near future. With them giving their first round picks to Houston, building through the draft probably isn't a very realistic option. I know that this front office loves their value picks and they believe that they're getting steals in different rounds, but a lot of the times if you're going to take somebody in the first round, you can only really get that kind of talent in the first round. But again, there are steals, but it's a more realistic option that they're probably going to have to acquire some more proven defensive tackle talent through free agency. But as far as the rest of the defense, the linebacker position is going to be, they're going to be revitalized. All the guys that got hurt at the linebacker position will be coming back off of injury, obviously. And I think the secondary, if deployed correctly, can prove to be one of the best units in the NFL. Although we kind of did see some inconsistencies from guys like Denzel Ward. John Johnson had a really bad down year. Maybe Greg Newsome wasn't as dynamic as he was in his rookie year. But guys like Martin Emerson, who had a very impressive rookie campaign, that kind of thing keeps me positive. And hopefully I am getting a little bit optimistic here that when you have a defensive coordinator, not Joe Woods, then maybe the secondary will just be a little bit better just because he's not around anymore. And that's kind of what I said when they fired Joe Woods, that anyone else would be an upgrade, whoever they ended up hiring, because even if the defensive sucks, at least if the defensive side of the ball is not good, at least there's going to be a new face at the wall to throw some darts at. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far into the video, just a quick little update, and I will see you at the next one.